welcome back to Jaws from 1975, starting us off with the intense Jaws theme playing. Well, not the correct one you would see on YouTube, but it's something, as well as the locals enjoying the beach late at night, and directed by, once again, Steven Spielberg. We see this girl now catching an eye with this guy, now chases her down, and her name is Chrissy, played by Susan Blacklenny, and she takes a sweater off, and I'll skip that, and she jumps into the water. And she has no idea what's going to happen to her next. So meanwhile, the guy chasing her gives up and fell asleep. So now at this home, we see the couple waking up. The protagonist, Police Chief Martin Brody, played by Roy Scheider, next to his wife, Ellen Brody, played by Lorraine Gary, wondering where his kids are outside. Now he gets a call since he's needed soon, and heads to Amity Island, a small town, and talks to the guy who was chasing Chrissy to the beach.
You mean she ran out on you? No, sir.
Hilarious, and now some info about each other, and now run off to the sound of the whistle. And it's a cop, Hendricks, played by Jeffrey Kramer, points Martin here, and definitely Chrissy. So back at the station, as his older officer comes in asking where Chief Martin is, and goes in his office and comes in telling there are 9-year-olds karate chopping the picket fences. What? And now the phone is ringing. Now it's for Martin from the medical inspector, and that the older officer wants something else from Martin, but he has to leave right away. He walks in and sees the old guy with the picket fence, whom the 9-year-olds karate chopped. So Martin is at the hardware store and buys some supplies as Hendricks is back to pick him up, and tells to close up the beach. So now here comes some concerns, especially the mayor here, played by Murray Hamilton, who wants to cover the murder of Chrissy, since this place is a summer spot and needs money.
You yelled shark. We've got a panic on our hands on the 4th of July.
And now, back at the beach, as Martin Brody's thinking how the girl died, and sees a woman who looks like she could get killed, and as a weirdo comes out of nowhere complaining his problems to Martin Brody. And now Ellen comes to shoo him away, and now Ellen tells him to shoo, like shoo, and here comes another one and leaps too. So the kids are still in the ocean, and now this kid notices that Pippin is gone, and here comes danger. So the kid gets eaten to death, and all the other kids are pulled out of the water. So it was this woman's son that got eaten to death by the sharks, and now you know what happened to Chrissy as well. Okay? So, and now for a town meeting with the mayor and even a $3,000 reward to hunt down the shark who killed a kid named Alex. And even bringing up whether the reward will be in cash, and Martin Brody's asked to come up to tell these beachgoers that the beaches will be closed. And the mayor wants their money for the beach use, and will have ocean experts come in 24 hours to make them stay. And now we meet the captain who will help Martin Brody get that shark, Captain Quint, played by Robert Shaw. James Bond and Pelham 123. And now Jaws, right? So 3 well-known movies. So Captain Quint offers to catch the shark and says a lot of things, and is willing to do it for $10,000 instead of the $3,000, and will bring back the major body parts of the shark, and will do it all alone. So the beach is now closed and back at Martin's as he does further research on the shark and gets scared and even finds out his kids are on the dock. And they think it's safe since Martin wants him out.
Get out of that boat!
But she reconsiders.
But I want him to read the boating regulations, the rules, before he goes out on his own.
Did you hear your father? Out of the water now! Now!
So the book is pretty much like Instagram of today. So with the $3,000 reward made public, here comes 2 guys wanting to catch a shark by themselves, launching bait into the water.
Can't we go home?
So Martin's back flipping through the pages of the book and doing more research on the shark attacks, and now the shark is here and catches the bait and moves quickly while breaking the dock. He manages to get away and lets the shark go, and now his colleague wants to go home.
Can we go home now?
So Charlie, the guy who put the bait in the water, is wondering what happened to the meat in the freezer. His wife is wondering what happened to the meat in the freezer, as Hendricks tells Martin that. And we now see the other guy who will join Captain Quint for the shark chase is Matt Hopper of the Oceanographic Institute. It looks like the mayor wasn't kidding about having experts over, and he's played by Richard Dreyfuss, and meets with Martin, but Martin's too busy stopping all these guys going on boats after the shark. So Martin wants Hendrik to stop all these guys from leaving, but he can't do anything, so Matt Hopper introduced himself to Martin Brody and is excited to see the expert that they called, not the mayor, okay? So meanwhile, all these guys are all excited to go after the shark since money is the motivation. Martin takes Matt to the medical examiner's office and looks at the body of Chrissy, or Christine Watkins, and Matt carefully looks at her body remains.
And portions of the rib cage are intact. Do not smoke in here, thank you very much.
Okay, so no smoking, and continues to look at the body.
It was a shark.
No shit, Sherlock. So the fishing guys have caught a shark, not the shark. There is a difference, and these gullible fishing guys think it's that very shark. As the mayor's assistant wants the guys who caught the shark to be in the picture, including Matt Hopper doing further research on the shark to see if it's the right one. And the mayor's back, all excited to see the shark was caught, and these are steamed guys that Matt Hopper knows, and these guys are steamed, like angry that Matt Hopper knows that this is not the shark that killed Chrissy and the Kittner kid.
But the fact is that the bite radius on this animal is different than the wounds on the victim.
Well, there goes the mayor's smile, and Matt will look at the shark that they caught closely, and here comes Mrs. Kittner again, and she slaps Martin Brody, dumb f***. And she knows he knew that there was a shark here and didn't tell anyone that Chrissy was killed by the same shark. So all this could have been avoided. Alright, so back at home, and Matt Hopper is now here with wine.
My husband tells me you're in sharks.
So taking Martin's dinner and presents his life story why he loves sharks, and also tells the Brodies here that this is not the shark that killed Chrissy and the kid. So pours some wine, and Matt doesn't look like he will be staying here longer since he has to go on the Aurora, a shark expedition. So Martin now asks questions about the specific shark that did kill Chrissy and the kid, and Matt says it's called a rogue, and wants to see the shark cut open. The shark and the fishermen have caught.
He didn't need a car, did he?
Wow, that's funny. This is not the shark, as Matt shows the inside of the shark. So this is not the shark that killed Chrissy and the kid. We knew that. Now the two go look for the actual shark with a different name or a different kind. And now Martin complains about New York's problems and is fascinated by Matt's boat.
Doesn't make any sense. I mean, they pay a guy like you to watch sharks?
Doesn't make much sense for a guy who hates the water to live on an island either.
It's only an island if you look at it from the water.
And they've spotted something, and it's a fisherman's boat, and Martin knows the guy who owns this, and Matt will go check it out and sees this haunting feature of the boat. Now back with the mayor as the two tell him all about the shark, and it's a tooth, and they found a tooth, and the fancy name for the shark, which is a pretty hard name to pronounce, and all the mayor cares about is a tooth of the shark that did kill Chrissy and the kid. But this town needs money, since that's also what the mayor continues to care about more, and we even see the vandalized billboard. And tomorrow is the 4th of July, meaning the mayor needs his beach open tomorrow, with or without a shark. So tourists are here for the 4th of July celebrations, as Martin and Matt find ways to prevent this and now keep lookout for the shark. Now we see this news host reporting for the 4th of July celebrations, played by Peter Benchley, who is the author of the novel Jaws. And this is just a small appearance in the movie based off of his novel, While all this happens, the mayor is just walking around and sees that no one is going into the water to swim, convinces this family to go, and they do, even with the shark on the loose. And so does everyone else now going to the water. So Martin just keeps watch for the shark, and Ellen will keep an eye on the kids. So everyone carelessly just enjoying the water as the watch continues. So this girl in the water spots something, and now the whole watch squad has spotted a signal, and this whistle is blowing everywhere. And it was a prank, of course, by these two kids. How pathetic, or maybe it was their playing session. But this artist notices shark fin swimming as the Brody kids are near there. So the shark has made it and eats the guy who warned the Brody kids to make it back to the beach. But they made it back just in time. But the one of the Brody kids But one of the Brody kids is in shock, and Ellen will take the kids home. So the mayor is back at the hospital too, and now understands that there's a shark, and deeply apologizes, and now wants the mayor to sign a contract so that Captain Quint can go out and hunt that shark down for good. But it's already the month of August, and summer is pretty much over, doesn't see any point in it, but he still signs a contract. So the three are together, Martin, Quint, and Matt are going to go together to hunt this thing down, to hunt the shark down. It's already been an hour for the movie and no name yet for the shark. I thought the shark would be called Jaws by now. Well, we still got another hour and 3 minutes. Who knows if they'll call the shark by the movie's name. So the three go shopping now for supplies. Looks like water and...
Here's to swimming with bow-legged women.
Excuse me, Chief.
Why is Quint boiling animal bones? So Matt doesn't like Quint already and even grabs hands to piss him off even more. Oh, Quint. And makes the rules. His ship, his way. So now more time wasting as Quint now starts singing randomly, and Ellen is ready to see her husband and Martin for the sail off, and Ellen runs off crying, probably seeing Quint's behavior, so the three sail off as Martin tosses out chum to get the shark's attention. Probably supplied with a chum bucket, if you know what I mean. And Quint continues to complain about kids today have it easier. I've been hearing that for a while now. It seems almost every old person born in an early time has that same complaint. Kids today are spoiled today, that kind of stuff. Looks like he's a baby boomer back then. Similar to one from like back then, but you would see on the internet today.
Damn it, Martin!
So Martin pulls a knot and pisses off Matt since he pulled on compressed air tanks, but Quint watches the line to see if the shark will eventually be caught, and Martin finally learning how to tie a knot. So now Quint tries to reel in the shark. At least he thinks he's got it, and pulls and pulls and pulls, and it's actually the hook being pulled down, losing the bait. So they keep going, and this part of the movie is kind of slow. They just wait for the shark, but with Quint just throwing a bunch of orders of keeping the ship in order, but Martin throws a lot of chum, and what do you know? And the three finally spot the shark, the real one, and Quint gets a call from Mission Control that Ellen Brody's on the line, but she'll have to wait. So Quint waits for Matt to tie the rope to something heavy. Oh yeah, he's been calling him Hooper this entire time. It's Hopper. And shoots the side of the shark and just swims away. As much as Martin wants to give up, Quint says the shark still has one barrel on him. What's with the creepy look, Quint? So the three relax as Quint and Matt are both drunk, start showing off their scars, and Matt's spotting a scar which he thought was funny on Quint. It's actually a scar from one of his days on the SS Indianapolis, during war times, and starts telling his life story, including shark incidents, and it's a long one. And now hear the whale wailing from a distance, and now more singing by Quint than Matt and Martin joining along.
Show me the way to go home.
And just go out the boat as Quint keeps shooting at the yellow barrel and grab the rope during daylight. So Martin calling for help got their only radio destroyed by Quint, and Quint shoots another barrel at the shark as the boat is now being pulled along with it. So 2 more barrels are also pulled off, and Martin tries shooting the shark and remain untouchable. And I've caught the shark with the rope Martin threw on, and it's in the shark's mouth, yet shooting another sharp piece into the lower part of his mouth and pulls the boat with it. But Quint chops the rope off with the barrels with the machete and just sail off till the shark comes back, and Matt notices the engine will break with all that pulling he's doing with the shark, and already smoke coming out from below.
That's great! That's just great! Now where the hell are we, huh?
So Quint stops the boat and lets the shark go, and half the boat has already sunk and they've given up. So they build a cage. So now they build a cage and will kill the shark from underwater as Matt gets his poison spears ready, and Matt is ready to go underwater inside the cage and sees the shark right away. And I've noticed less than 10 minutes left of the movie, but we haven't heard the actual Jaws theme play yet, like the one you hear on YouTube. Maybe that's separate listening, I don't know. And Matt Hopper is scared out of his mind and stabs the shark and escapes the cage. So the two pull out the cage, and here comes the shark trying to break the boat for good, and where we see Captain Quint getting eaten alive. And now tries to eat Martin Brody. the best part of the movie. You know, the eating part. Yeah, it's not worth laughing, but what's even better is that Martin Brody being at the very top of the boat, what's left of it, and sees a shark has the compressed air tank in his mouth and shoots it.
Where, you son of a...
So there goes a shark, since no one called him Jaws yet, and swims up Matt Hopper and just laughs, and the two swim back to town, to Amity Falls or Amity Gardens. I don't remember the name of the town.
I used to hate the water.
And that's it. Jaws from 1975. Good movie, and there is a Jaws 2 and 3 other Jaws movies which I don't know anything about. But that's it for me. There is a SpongeBob parody of this episode from the 2000s. Check that out if you haven't. I do like SpongeBob. That's it for me. I'll see you next time in American Psycho from 2000. Like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching once again. Take care. See you soon and watch away.